But if you're sick and you keep focusing on the sickness, you get sad, you get depressed, you get tense, you get stressed. And when you pray if you're praying properly for decent periods of time, or meditating, well, praying's different. Meditation's hearing the answer to your prayer. Meditation's a deeper prayer than many people who kneel. And God hears both, don't get me wrong. But when you're saying, take away my sickness, why am I so sick? Please take away my sickness. You're making yourself worse biochemically because you're focusing on what you don't want and it makes your mood bad. Whereas if you say, I know you're going to heal me and I'm grateful for it, thank you. You change the biochemical feelings, you change your feelings in your body and the biochemical reactions in your body, and you feel better. And this creates the environment for healing. And God will do what is necessary to heal you. He will show you what to do to heal yourself. But you have to make sure you get out of the way. So this is how it's important how you pray for healing. And in the New Age movement, there's this misconception. And people say it's because you focus on the sickness, God gives you more of it. As if God is so unfeeling. And it's not. It's because when you focus on the sickness, you yourself, using the laws of reality, make your body worse by making it release the wrong biochemical reactions. Whereas when you focus on the positive and pray as if you already have your healing, you release the right ones. And the better you feel, the better your temple is, the easier healing can manifest.
Oh, now we can start the healing today. If we could just learn to give a little love.
Hey guys, still not myself, but I think I'm on probably a long road to recovery before I am. But I wanted to talk about how we should pray for healing and other things as well. I don't know actually if I'm qualified enough to say how you should, but how I've come to see it and learn it and experience it over my life, this is how I feel that I should pray, and it will probably work for most the same, is my experience and belief. It's very, for instance, when you're sick, it's very normal for some people to get down and to say, I don't want to be sick anymore, please take away my sickness, and you focus all of your energy and your prayer on that sickness. And you know, my dogs are running laps if you're wondering what that noise is. Your body is a very profound energy source and energy being ultimately, but it radiates energy constantly. And the power plant of that energy is predominantly coming from your mind. Your mind determines the type of energy that you're going to emit. And you can see this. The mind is very powerful. It's so powerful that the mind alone would lead you to believe that perhaps it's a mind before matter universe. And the greatest example I ever heard was that when a young man or a boy is sleeping, might be a crude example for some, but when a young man and a boy is sleeping, his mind alone has the ability to force his body to have what we would call a wet dream in the West, but to create the very essence of life-giving force. And the same goes if you sit and meditate on the foods that you really enjoy. Your body will start preparing you for it. And if you sit and you focus on things you're scared of, your body will start eventually getting tense. And if you get an athlete to visualize what they're doing, their muscles even spire and trigger in the same way that they would when they're running the event or whatever they're performing. The mind is a powerhouse in your body. And the way the mind goes is often the way the health goes. I know right now I'm sick because of stress. My mind is where this all began. My carnal mind. And the power station of my body energies, which is the mind and the thought, has forced my physical body to secrete too many of certain hormones such as cortisol, etc., and this has made me ill. So I have to pull away from all of those stresses and reprogram my mind not to trigger at those things, because I've got the rest of my life here. I have to stop allowing my mind to trigger that response. At the same time, until it's reprogrammed by me, I need to take time out and sleep. I haven't been sleeping enough. This is another one of my major errors. Sleep's very important. But where does all that tie into praying? Well, I've been allowing my mind to get stressed because I'm focusing on the stresses, not the successes. And that in turn has made my physical body ill. Now when you pray, you don't want to focus on the thing that you're having trouble with. You should focus on, if you're sick, the healing. And you should focus on feeling the healing that you require, that you want, that you need, that you desire. You should focus on the feeling of being healed. And when you speak with God, you should say, I am unwell, but I'm not going to focus on the sickness because you know what it is. I'm going to focus on the healing, so as I can show you what it is that I truly desire. Now this works on two levels. Now I'm not going into a new age ideology of spirituality, for all the mind can make you sick, as I am evidence to right now. I'm also under no illusion that God is so unconscious in his behavior, that God is the law of attraction in itself, as many New Agers will say, and that if you keep saying that you've got cancer, you'll keep having cancer. God is not so wicked. If there's a chance for you to heal, he'll find a way for you to heal. But your body needs to create the space inside it for the healing to take place. It's not that you're drawing the healing in by only visualizing the healing. It's not that you draw the sickness in because you're visualizing the sickness and God says, they're asking for sickness and bad times, let me give them to them. What's actually happening is you're focusing and you're altering the chemistry of your body. When you focus on the healing, you feel grateful, you feel happy, you feel good, because it's where you want to be. When you get torn up thinking about the sickness all the time, you feel bad, you feel heavy, you feel just polluted by yourself, because you don't see a way out. So when you pray, even though when you pray and you say, God, please, I'm sick, make me better. Look at my sickness, look what's wrong with me, and I really need your help with this. If you keep saying about the sickness, it's not that God hears the sickness and is so unconscious that he says, I'll keep making you sick, as the law of attraction modern age people will tell you. But when you focus on your healing, you feel good about it. And when you focus on the sickness, you feel bad about it. And the chemistry of your body is completely affected by your feelings, moods, and emotions. Of course, there are other factors. There's nutrition and there's sleep involved in there as well. But a lot of the toxic stresses in our life are mental. And I have that problem here and I need to change that. At present, I've become so reactant to going for a walk. When people come for help, I get tense because I release the wrong hormones, because I'm tired of it. Now, I wasn't like that all the time, so I know I can go back to a better state of affairs where I'm more rested, and I don't do that. But if you're sick and you keep focusing on the sickness, you get sad, you get depressed, you get tense, you get stressed. And when you pray if you're praying properly for decent periods of time, or meditating, well, praying's different. Meditation's hearing the answer to your prayer. Meditation's a deeper prayer than many people who kneel. And God hears both, don't get me wrong. But when you're saying, take away my sickness. Why am I so sick? Please take away my sickness. You're making yourself worse biochemically because you're focusing on what you don't want, and it makes your mood bad. Whereas if you say, I know you're going to heal me and I'm grateful for it, thank you. You change the biochemical feelings, you change your feelings in your body and the biochemical reactions in your body, and you feel better. And this creates the environment for healing. And God will do what is necessary to heal you. He will show you what to do to heal yourself. But you have to make sure you get out of the way. So this is how it's important how you pray for healing. And in the New Age movement, there's this misconception, and people say it's because you focus on the sickness, God gives you more of it, as if God is so unfeeling. And it's not. It's because when you focus on the sickness, you yourself, using the laws of reality, make your body worse by making it release the wrong biochemical reactions. Whereas when you focus on the positive and pray as if you already have your healing, you release the right ones. And the better you feel, the better your temple is, the easier healing can manifest. Now I think I'll also just say within here, healing, the body is a self-healing organ. And the mind plays a big role in that. As you look around and read studies, you'll always find that when you read a study, that there are people who recover on the placebo. Now you can say the placebo did it, or you can say their body just naturally healed it. But either way, the body did it without the interaction of a treatment for a symptom, which is what modern medicine does. I won't take pain relief and stuff. I don't believe in it. There's no necessity for it. We can ride it out. We're tough enough. Unless you've got some sort of traumatic crisis and you need that pain relief, you're injured or whatever, that's understandable about you, that's fine. But many people abuse it. I think you know what I mean. I don't mean when it's necessary. I praise modern medicine. It's a miracle, and I've seen it save so many lives here. But there are other times where we need to allow the healing to take place from within ourselves. And because the body is a self-healing organ, you need to understand its two states of energy expulsion. One is building, and the other is healing and cleansing. Now, this is why when you fast, you can heal. And I've seen people in my comments saying that they have fibromyalgia, and I'm very sorry for the pains that you're going through. And I know it's quite debilitating. I've been reading about it. But fibromyalgia, if you read, everyone who does long water fast with fibromyalgia comes out of the fast without the problem. Now, I would never stay permanently sick like I am. If it got to the point where eating easy to digest, raw, well combined, high water content raw food diet doesn't allow my body to heal, I'll see it as a necessity and I'll just go on a 40-day fast. And it will heal on that fast, forever and always, of any ailment that it's dealing with. Or it might take 2. But there's always an option to heal. All persons, chronic fatigue syndrome is something else that people have been speaking about, and they say there's no cure for it. But you go and you read the people who fasted for these things, even as short as 21 days. Gone. Because the body needed to get rid of these toxins and to reset its cells. Now, when you fast, you create the right environment for healing to manifest from within itself. And if you've been sick for years and years and years, it's time to brave a fast. It's very easy to do. If you're scared, do it at a fasting retreat. But surely it's worth it. 3 weeks without food, 4 weeks without food, 5 weeks without food. For a lifetime of health, or the return of your health at least, the start of the proper recovery, it's worth it. And that's why, as well as praying in the correct way, so as you allow the good feelings in you, the good biochemical releases in your body, like the oxytocin and stuff from when you're cuddling, instead of the cortisol for when you feel like you're running away from a lion, like I've been allowing my body to do all this time. because I haven't been practicing what I preach. But I've been easy on myself about it, because I've said I didn't do it on purpose. And I did do something that very few human beings have done in the last 3 years. And so I've been easy on myself and said, you've made a mistake, but the fruits of your pain exist. Now, let's recover from it, because there's a structure here for these kids now. Most of the kids around me, where I first came to the village and said I need to get them all in school, they're labouring and they shouldn't be. There's nearly 1,000 of them. They're in school. The kids have somewhere to live. I need more space, but it'll come. If God's come this far, he'll go the rest of the way. So I've been easy on myself for not practicing what it is that I preach. But it's just how it works, is that if we look after ourselves, if I hadn't allowed myself to do too much, and I hadn't listened to my carnal mind, my spiritual arrogance, pushing me to do more, when I might not have needed to do more. Perhaps I was doing jobs that God would have got done with someone else, but because I was too arrogant, I kept going and didn't stop. That's why I got sick. And the way that you undo sickness is by providing the right environment for health and healing to manifest within you. So this is where the praying comes in. Like I say, you pray in the right way so you feel good and release the good hormones. You eat in the right way so your body, if you have to keep eating, truest form of healing is water fasting. That state is permanent healing. You'll heal until it's time to eat. People don't understand it. They call it starving. That's because they're speaking from their monkey mind. They're not speaking from their body mind. Believe me, after you've done a long fast, you'll understand what I mean. You're stronger after you've refed than you've ever been. Your body's clean. Everything's perfect. You're getting more oxygen through your blood, to your cells. Your heart's beating better than it ever has. So if you're having to eat while you heal, you need to eat things that are easy to digest. And that's where the raw, high water content diet comes in for me at the moment. I have to eat what's easy to digest. I have to. Because my body needs to spend its energy as much as possible on healing, not on digestion and building. And I will lose weight while I do it. And I wouldn't be eating at all if I didn't have certain small jobs that I have to keep doing and keep the plate spinning to make sure these children are provided for, and many of you out there are the same. That's the nature of our system. But I can't go on the sick here. Because whether I like it or not, I've got all you guys there, and I love you all, and you're all beautiful people, and you've made all this possible. But we have a analytics system that we can watch, and if I stop posting videos or Facebook posts, people stop sharing with the kids, and then I can't feed them. So I can't do what I want to do. And I've prayed to God that if it comes to the point where I need to fast, a long water fast, that someone somewhere in the world will hear the prayer and put a decent donation towards us, or I'll call out to all of you guys and tell you what's going on and that how it works, and I need to take 4, 5, 6 weeks off without posting or whatever, or just to document my water fast and whatever it is that I do, if it came to that, and hope that then the money would remain to run this place in my absence, so I could get a full break. But for now, God's led me towards the raw food, because it's easy to digest, and I'm still resting, and I still have a little bit of energy from that when I'm not resting to do my jobs. I'm also, for all I'm quite tired and laboured, I feel very sharp mentally at the moment. Solving problems is so easy for me at the moment. That's because I've just been fasting. And I'll probably do days without food as well. So you will see me lose a bit of weight, but that's how you cleanse, that's how you undo what you need to heal, and that's how you start to rebuild afterwards. It's normal to gain weight and lose weight when you're healing and building. But once I'm healed, then I'll build myself up again, just like I've done in the past. I'm 75 kg at the moment. Once after fasting, I was down into the 50s. After a long fast, that was. So you need to create the right environment in your body, and you need to use less digestion. You need to make sure that you release the correct biochemical reactions, and you need to make sure your environment is non-toxic and non-stressful. But when you're praying, if you pray to God, which I think everyone who watches me is praying quite a bit, you should never pray the wrong thing. In my experience, never focus on the sickness, always focus on the healing. And just remember that indeed the mind does have power to alter the person's body. And at the same time, the mind does have power to alter the water as well around us, as I've shown before in a video saying his magic is real. So if you're praying for someone else, for instance, if you're praying for me, don't pray and say, John's sick, John, don't do that. Because we are all interconnected. There's scientific evidence of that, due to the energy fields around us. And the last thing you want to do is disturb, if one of you is a powerful prayer, I should say, pray, what would you say? The last thing you want to do is disrupt the water within me and make it unbeautiful, because then you can affect my healing. So you should pray for the healing, just as I do. Just as I always do for the kids and everyone as well. I visualize that they're healed and I feel good because I see them healed. And you know what? Sometimes it doesn't work. But at least I didn't churn myself up and get additionally stressed about it, and at least I didn't feel bad when I was around the children who were sensitive. At least they felt a loving, higher vibratory state from me, instead of, oh, they're sick, get better, because that intensity is too much for a sick person. So. Okay. So I'm doing a many-pronged healing, shall we say. I shall be healing with prayer, as always, fasting, which I'm doing, nutrition, as always, and supplementation as well, to recover the mitochondria in my body, who have suffered greatly in the war they've been against my persistent stress and lack of sleep these last years. So, yeah. Love you all. God bless. See you soon. Bye. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share and subscribe, as it really helps us to grow the channel and with it help more children here in Tanzania. Also, don't forget you can support our work by sharing with children in crisis here, be it sharing for a particular need or even sharing one-on-one support for education, housing, food and medical care. It can be done for as little as the cost of a cup of coffee a week back in the West after all. Just visit www.sharetanzania.co.uk to find out more. Lastly, remember you can also support us via Patreon, www.patreon.com/featherstail, and help keep us here in Tanzania to continue our work. The links for the website and for the Patreon are in the description box of this video. Love and light, guys. See you soon.